I woke to see a cloudless sky through my window. I yawned and stretched, then nodded as I remembered what day this was. Today I'll be taking Flandre to visit some of Gensokyo. I began making breakfast, setting aside food for lunch as well. As I cooked, I grabbed a spare umbrella that was lying around. I figured Sokyo would provide a parasol for Flandre, but a spare was probably not a bad idea. Even if the Scarlet Sisters were more sunlight resistant than most, it'd be lame to get burned that bad. I finished breakfast quick and packed a lunch for me and Flandre. Then I remembered Yomu was on her strange little retreat and made some more food to distract the local hungry ghost. Preparations complete, I head out to the Scarlet Devil Mansion. I waited for Mei Ling on the way in, then flew down to the basement door. Once again, the feeling of dread washed over me. It was strange how that didn't fade, even as I grew to know Flandre. I should just get this over with and walk in. No reason to drag this out. I pushed out the doors until they opened. But it was just a normal room. Well, normal with crystals growing. Twisting, wait, what? I blinked and the visions was gone. Okay, I think I made an error here. Just a minute, I'll be up soon. And Flandre was still in bed, time to retreat. Ah, sorry, I'll wait in the hall for you. Okay, Marissa, leave the room, close the door, and don't look at it. I sat in the hallway for a couple of minutes before the door creaked open. I turned to find Flandre standing outside. She didn't seem as energetic as she normally was though. Marissa, are you sure it's okay to go out today? Maybe we could just play inside like normal. Right, without Koichi around, her old worries will come back. I'll have to be careful here. I want this to be at least partly her idea. How do I want to play this out? How do I want to play this out? I guess we try this. If you keep putting this off, you'll never get to go outside. Yeah, but Big says, don't worry about it. Rumila gave us permission, right? And we aren't doing anything big. We're just having a picnic outside. I don't know. If things become bad, I promise I'll take you right back home, okay? Okay. Suddenly, Sokyo was standing there as well. You shouldn't have such a long face, young mistress. After all, I made your favorite cake just for this outing. The strawberry marble cheesecake? Yay! I breathed a sigh of relief. Thanks, I made lunch, but I don't know her favorite, so I doubt you have the ingredients either. I guess I wouldn't be eating that cake. I also packed a bit more in case the Ghost Princess decided to join you. So did I, but any extra is probably a good idea. Wait, didn't you say she was dead? Then why is she eating? Yuyiko's weird? I asked her once, but she refused to answer. Maybe I should ask. That's a good idea, young mistress. Maybe she'll tell you the answer. Here's your parasol, young mistress. Be good, and the mistress wants me to tell you to have a good time. Okay, let's go, Marissa. Sure thing. I tipped my hat to the maid and hopped on my broom. I flew a little slower, though, to let Flandre work on adjusting her parasol. Whoa! I've forgotten how bright it is during the day. We waved to Mei Ling as we passed, then flew to the skies of Gensokyo towards the faint staircase that leads to the netherworld. Flandre took the time to enjoy the sights from the air, laughing at every little thing. I told you you had fun. Soon we reached the massive gate to the netherworld. Rain had broken the seal on it a while ago, but the doors were still a pain to open, so we just flew over. The netherworld was cooler than outside, both because of the altitude and because of the ghosts. As we flew further into the gardens, the ghosts floated by to inspect us. Wow, so these are real ghosts. They're so much more active than the ones in Patrick's miniature netherworld. That's an odd thing to build. With Yomu off training, we arrived at the center of the netherworld without incident. There I set up a bigger shade umbrella and started laying out the picnic materials. Shouldn't we tell someone we're here? I mean, you invited me here to meet people, right? These ghosts aren't very talkative. Flandre grabbed one by the tail and shook it to make the point. I realized that I'd unconsciously been counting on Yomu to run up and start a fight. That usually brought Yuyiko to see what was up. That obviously wasn't going to happen. Fortunately, I had a backup plan. Don't worry, she'll find us. I took my time unwrapping the various goodies Sokyo and I brought. Sure enough, a familiar face quickly appeared, floating down one of the many paths through the garden. Yomu, is that you? I'm hungry. Marissa, why have you broken in? And why is the younger vampire here with you? I'm not the younger vampire, I'm Flandre Scarlet, and we're going to be having a picnic with a ghost princess. Oh, are you now? Huh, that's weird. I wasn't expecting Yuriko to be in any mood to tease people. Maybe I should intervene. Time to sacrifice some food. Yuriko was probably just irritable because she was hungry. Ease up, Yuko. This is her first outing in a while. Flandre's not used to Gensokyo's level snarking lad yet. Here, we have some rice balls. Oh, I see. Well, my apologies, Lady Scarlet. I would hate to ruin your first trip out. The hungry ghost grabbed the rice ball and consumed it in one swift movement. I am the princess of the netherworld. Yuko, you know, I'm not even bother saying that shit. Forgive me for teasing you earlier. I'm just used to nettling. Is nettling a word? Or is it meddling? It should be meddling, right? I'm gonna pretend it's meddling, unless this nettling is a word, and I'm just stupid, or just like a typo, okay? So meddling your sister. I'm afraid I fell into old habits. Ah, you've met my big sister then. Yes, I find popping her ego amusing, but I want to do something that to a nice young girl like you. So I ran into Yomu recently. Really? Where? She was off doing a training retreat. A training retreat? A training retreat. You're so lucky. Mei-ling always brings back something great from her training retreats. I see. And since this Yomu girl only has to buy presents for you, I'm sure it'll be extra great. That's a good point. You were very clever, Flandre Scarlet. But a little inattentive. In one lightning fast move, a slice of cake disappeared down the ghost's throat. Sakia's special cake. Give it back. I panicked and ducked as Flandre's fiery leviathan seared right through Yuko. Fortunately, the Flandre was toning down the power, so there were no explosive flames trailing after it. Yuko, of course, simply flickered around and reformed instantly. The level of power couldn't destroy her. That hurt. Flandre, that was bad. But she ate a piece of my special cake. That's not a reason to try to destroy her. If she wasn't unkillable, you could have done some serious damage. Huh? No way, I was real careful to only use a little bit of my power. I'm sorry for teasing you by stealing some of your cake. But Marissa's right, most people would have been utterly destroyed by that. Even ghosts can be harmed by that spell. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry too, I knew you weren't going to eat all the cake yourself, and Marissa's not going to eat human blood. But it was rude of me. Here, you can have another slice, I can only eat 4. Thank you. Well, that was a little scary, but it turned out to be better than expected. See, you're learning, Flandre. So Yuko, is Marissa weird for not eating humans, or are you weird for eating humans? In this case, she's weird. I'm hurt. It's not weird for ghosts to consume blood and flesh. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know much about ghosts. I don't know much about ghosts! So, I mean, is it normal for them to consume blood and flesh? I guess? I don't know. Well, it's a little weird for us Pure Land ghosts, but I'm special. That's true, you aren't like those other ghosts. They're kinda just floaty and glowy, not real talkative. For some reason, I have some yokai traits, so I can eat things like a gaki would. Also, I can assume human form, like an evil or restless spirit can. So that was the reason. Stupid trees complicated everything. Probably best not to explain it though. Flandre would be confused and Yuko might react poorly. So then if Marissa dies, she could just become an evil spirit in order to save Marissa then. It doesn't quite work like that, trust me. Marissa is correct. While it's not that difficult to avoid the Shinigami in Gensokyo, even if they don't collect you, your nature becomes mostly set. If your personality changes too much, you tend to lose your power and focus, becoming just another ghost. It would mean stagnation, which is just another form of death, really, perhaps worse. I want to be able to live life, not just be alive. That explanation reminded me of that time. That had been when I started researching immortality, I think. I don't know if I fully understand it, but okay. Yuko popped another pastry into her mouth. It's okay, most humans take a number of lifetimes to understand it. Flandre looked at me questioningly, but I shrugged. Sorry, Flandre, but I'm trying to avoid the whole issue. See, if you died a few more times, I think you'll understand it all better. I can give you a demonstration if you want. No thanks, I'm good. We finished up the meal with a bit more banter. I tried to keep it on subjects Flandre would understand, but with Yuko sometimes that's difficult. Still, the rest of the meal went off without a hitch. We said our goodbyes to Yuko, who reminded us that we really shouldn't be there, and headed on our next leg of our journey. The Hakare Shrine was sort of the central meeting place for yokai due to it being neutral ground. Specifically, none of them were supposed to be there, thus it was Grace's first step in the living world. Rainbow was tending the shrine when we arrived. As we dropped in, she gave us the usual greeting glare. Oh, excuse me. Hey, Rainbow. Hey, hi, Rainbow. You actually did bring her. I said I would. Donate. Huh? Donate. It's what you do at a shrine, especially one that might get broken at any second. I suppose it'll be first for Flandre. We should get some fortunes too while we're at it. Fortune? Is that like when my sister uses her power? Maybe? Flandre caught on to the idea pretty quickly, though she was a little too enthusiastic with the bell rope. Oh well, she is just a kid, sorta. You know, the whole 500 years old kind of deal. I showed her how to get fortunes next, then got one for myself just for laughs. Little luck? That's strange. Got some help from Sonny, did you? Finally starting accepting hard work. Got some help from Sonny, eh? Did you? What? You never have little luck, and the calligraphy is all wrong. Oh, you're right. Sonny just wants to make some old style fortunes. She thinks it's cool or something. What did you get, Flandre? Seeing Flandre's face, I hurried over and glanced at the slip of paper she was holding. As soon as I saw the characters, I went, terrible luck. Ouch, bad first draw. Don't worry though, if you tie it to a tree, then it'll purify it and the bad luck will go away. My first fortune. Here, have mine. I gave Flandre my best smile. Here, you can have mine. Little luck? That doesn't seem all that great. Nonsense, it means you get exactly what you deserve for the amount of effort you put into it. Which means someone like you or me is bound to succeed, right? But isn't it your fortune? Well then, I guess I'll have to help with the work too. I'll support you every step of the way. Marissa's kind of cool. Right. Now if you're done corrupting young, impressionable yokai, we should tie up that bad fortune. After we finished tying up Flandre's fortune, we went into the shrine. Rainbow, as usual, brought out the tea. We sat there a while, enjoying the atmosphere. Is this what you do most of the time, just drink tea? Pretty much. Even if you don't play Damaku or anything, well, it's mostly about spending time with your friends. It's fun to be with Reimu. Well, we do have Damaku matches as well, but yeah, it's mostly about being with people. I see, I guess I can understand that. I don't get to see people too often, so I always have to have as much fun as possible. Well, when you start seeing people more often, you'll find this fun, I'm sure. I think it's fun now. That's good, Flandre. We slowly finished the tea while Reimu talked about the shrine's visitor, and Flandre told us about the fairy maid's antics. After a long while, we bid Reimu goodbye and headed back to the mansion. That was a lot of time out in the sun, I'm tired. So, up for another outing sometime? Yeah, I want to see more of the outside. Okay, I'll introduce you to a couple of friends of mine. Is next week good? Before the challenge, okay? Before the what? Flandre, of course, just yawned instead of explaining. Good night, Marissa. If you can come over before next week, I'd like that too. Well, nothing I can do about her vague pronouncements. Good night, Flandre. Flandre slipped inside her room and shut the door behind her. I still had some time before I need to sleep. What should I do? Found out the gossip, whatever the gossip was. I heard some of the maids I passed talking about some sort of hidden secret in the basement of the mansion. I recalled something I heard in the village on my last trip there. Oh, did you hear the latest about the yokai? No, do tell. I heard that the yokai are constructing some sort of giant weapon. A giant weapon? Why would they need that? Who knows, they're yokai, although if I know yokai, I bet it has something to do with either making a big scene or trying to destroy us all. While I highly doubt the yokai were organized enough as a whole to build a giant weapon, and even less likely to actually use it to destroy all humans, is it possible that there was actually some truth to the story? I decided to check out the basement of the mansion. I shadowed a fairy maid I saw bumbling about the basement. Eventually I followed the maid to a pair of statues standing in the basement. She looked around herself for a moment and then seemed to be satisfied that no one was there. She pushed back the head of the left statue, revealing a secret button. Wait, were they actually constructing a weapon under here? I quickly followed the maid through the passageway that appeared when she pushed the button. Inside there appeared to be a lot of fairies all relaxing on couches. What appeared to be a table, tennis court, and some sort of box-like table contraption covered in handles. Two fairies were either on either end of the contraption, spinning the various handles, rotating little wooden men attached to them to knock around a ball that rolled inside the device. Was this some sort of secret break room? Sweet, I wanted in. It took a bit of convincing, a bit of flirting, and a ham sandwich I got to somewhere, but I managed to get a pass to the secret fairy maid break room. I probably wouldn't visit often, but it was still fun. I chatted up the fairies for a while before heading home.